Well, the Saudi-led coalition is continuing its airstrikes, and one of its biggest weapon suppliers is the UK. Britain has sold £3.3 billion worth of arms to Riyadh since March 2015, when the conflict in Yemen began. That includes more than £2 billion worth of warplanes, helicopters and drones. Saudi Arabia now has twice as many UK-made warplanes than the Royal Air Force.
More UK-made planes than the Royal Air Force, using those planes to bomb people back to the Stone Age, creating humanitarian crises which, my friend, as you know, will continue to lead to millions of Yemenis needing refuge elsewhere. Right? And as we've said on this programme before, and we've proved it, we've proved it using documentation, using interviews, that country, there's an abundance of evidence in Yemen provided by, let's say, a plethora, a multitude of human rights groups, of the use of outlawed weapons, cluster bombs, chemical munitions, supplied by the US and Britain to Saudi Arabia to commit genocide in Yemen. It's true. And the people responsible for it, primarily David Pigfucker Cameron and Gideon I stick baby pigeons in people's arses until they die Osborne, these fuckers are travelling the world right now like Tony Blair, getting hundreds of thousands of pounds for personal appearances. They should be in prison. And you know, when we say things like that on programmes, it sounds like such a throwaway line. They should be in prison. It's a throwaway line. It's like a cliche. They supplied the worst abusers of human rights in human history, Saudi Arabia, with terrifying weaponry and technology. And even, as we said to you before, sent our officers to make sure they used the stuff properly. And in the meantime, Yemen is burned to the ground. Burned to the ground. But they're little brown people. And they wear scarves, the women sometimes. And they look different. So they don't matter a fucking damn, really, do they? And while the mainstream media is asleep, well, it isn't. Again, we say asleep, it isn't really. It's owned by the same people, or the same people who created and controlled David Cameron, Gideon Osborne, Theresa May, Obama and Trump. There's no outcry from the media. Nobody gives a shit about Yemeni people or Syrians. Couldn't give a shit. It's the FA Cup weekend. Let's watch United. Let's watch Liverpool, eh? Oh, The Voice is brilliant, isn't it? Do you see that girl on The Voice? She doesn't look like much. She's not really good looking, but then she sang and Tom Jones was crying. Isn't it fucking amazing, isn't it? Hey? Let's go see La La Land. One of the worst fucking films ever made, but they've given it 14 Oscar nominations. It's madness. Madness. So that's why it's not a throwaway line. They should be in jail. Has anybody ever gone to a police station in Westminster, you know, with a few people, with some numbers, with a lawyer, with a solicitor, with a fucking barrister, and said, I tell you what, I want you to arrest these fucking maniacs. Because if I threaten my neighbour, if I steal a bar of chocolate from fucking Tesco's, I'm going to be arrested. Right? These people are murdering children. Murdering children. And when they get done with it, they swan off around the world. And what do they do there? They get six-figure sums telling fucking lies to academics at Ivy League universities. What a world we live in, eh?